Hello, welcome to this new video from apasoft.training. During this video, I will try to tell you how we can use Amazon's artificial intelligence, Amazon Q, to determine the type of instance I need to install a specific product. In this case, the example I am proposing is quite simple. Let's assume I work for a company and I am tasked with installing or preparing a server to host an Oracle 23 AI database, which is one of the latest versions from Oracle. Previously, I had to manually calculate what type of virtual machine I needed to host an Oracle 23 with the necessary features, for example, with a certain number of users or a certain number of requests per second. Those calculations can take quite a while until determining the type of instance I need, especially considering that Amazon has a huge number of machines for very different purposes. It is complicated to choose the right one. Well, those times are over because now I can use the artificial intelligence integrated within Amazon, called Amazon Q, to calculate this data. Let's do an example that allows us to see in a practical way how this works. Within my Amazon AWS admin console, I go to the virtual server section by searching for EC2 here in the search box. A list of options will appear. I'll select the first one, EC2. I go inside that option. If I want to use the traditional method, I would have to come here to the Launch Instance button, and the next screen displays the characteristics I can specify when creating the machine. Down here, I would have to decide what type of instance I need for my project. If I select the list of values, there is a huge number of instance types for multiple purposes, so it is a bit complicated trying to find out which one was right for me. What can I do now? I can access it via this icon that I have here in the upper right part. If I click it, you will see it opens a window with different options. Here, it proposes different examples that I can use to test this artificial intelligence. And down here, in the chat box, I will be able to tell it what I want it to do. You have to keep in mind that what Amazon is going to do is use the knowledge it has about the EC2 instance types to try to determine the calculation for that instance. Of course, it will have to go to the internet to ask Oracle, "Hey Oracle, what do you need to create a virtual machine for me with these characteristics?" Well, I already have a specific question ready to make the example much more interesting. I'm going to paste it here. You will have this prompt available in the video description. Basically, what I indicate in this prompt is that I want to install an Oracle Database 23 AI for approximately 1,000 users, generating around 200 requests per second. I indicate that the database occupies approximately 400 gigabytes in size and that the initial calculation we have given to host the data within the Oracle memory is about 16 gigabytes. Of course, these are made-up data for the video, but it's still a typical example of what I can find within a database of this type. Another very important thing I'm going to do here is tell it, "Hey, what type of instance do you recommend, considering that I don't want to spend more than $10 per hour?" That is, I'm not only telling it what technical features I need to create this instance, but I'm also telling it what the budget is within which I can move so that it tries to choose the most suitable one. Well, if I click here for it to do the calculation, it's going to go, as I said, to look at the information within Amazon itself and also to determine the features of that Oracle database. So you see, it's going to start a series of calculations or steps where first it's going to ask or find out what instance sizes it has, and from there it will try to find the information I need, okay? This might take more or less time, but if you noticed, it was quite fast, wasn't it? I can go up here to see what type of instance it proposed. That tells me, well, considering what you are asking for, I would recommend that you use a T4G type machines, which have graviton-type processors, which are usually more powerful than their traditional x86 counterparts. It tells me that it has a better price than the T3 type ones. It's ideal for database workloads with moderate CPU usage, etc. If I continue down, it indicates that we can also use machines of this type, the R6GD, which are optimized at the memory level and are very good or usually very useful when I need high database performance, because they use memory intensively. Oracle is a database that uses memory intensively to work, so this type of machine can also be very good for me.
Most of the data that Oracle handles during its work is stored in memory cache, and therefore it is a perfect software for this type of server.
Here, it then indicates considerations it has taken into account regarding memory, performance, budget, scalability, etc., etc. In other words, as you can see, it's not a basic calculation. Instead, underneath, it performs a series of necessary calculations to determine which one suits me best. So it tells me, hey look, try starting with R6GD type machines, since Oracle is software that uses memory intensively and also uses NVMe SSD type storage. But well, the most interesting thing is that it doesn't just stop here, but I can ask it more things depending on what it has answered. For example, let's suppose I want it to give me the list of machines with their price, okay? So what I'm going to say here is, look, considering this response, can you get me a table indicating the prices that each of the machine types would cost me? So I have the question already prepared here where I say, can you create a comparison table with the hourly prices of the machines you are proposing to me so that I can make a better decision? Then, taking that information into account, it will retrieve the prices for the T4G and R6GD type machines, and I will therefore be able to make a more suitable decision for what I need. So, as always, it will take a little while. You see it goes through different steps that will depend quite a bit on what we need or what we've asked. I'm going to pause the video while it finishes. And as you can see, here it has finished. It told me it processed and did the analysis in 10-something seconds. So if I come down here, I can see it has already created a comparison of what I asked for. I'm going to make this bigger so it can be seen better. I go up a bit, you can see it tells me, well look, for T4G type machines, the hourly price can be this. For R6GD type machines, the hourly price is this.
As you see, it gives me recommendations here in this block. Start with R6GD type machines that have this hourly price. You see it has proposed a price far below what I budgeted. That is, what Amazon is going to tell me is, look, you can spend $10 an hour if you want, but you don't actually need the machines you require to have that. Instead, these will do. In other words, it doesn't just help me determine the instance type, but also to save money if necessary. That is, it says, hey look, you are asking for a budget that is far above what you actually need. So here, it gives me the recommendations for our use case. It tells me the best thing is to use this type of server because it has 16 gigabytes of RAM, it has SSD disks, it's a more cost-effective option, and it adapts well to Oracle databases. Anyway, as you see, the final decision is yours, but it has already given you a very interesting or very important clue as to what type of server you want to create. With which you would only have to go here, to the right part, and among the ones we have here, select, in this case, the R6GD types with the memory and resources I need. Well, as always, I tell you to do your own examples, propose your own examples so you can see the utility of Amazon Q and how it has implemented artificial intelligence to help you in your daily work within Amazon AWS, okay? Well, I hope you liked this video, and I'll see you in the next one.